What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. And the reason why I wanted to talk about Bitcoin today is because we're under so much pressure for Bitcoin. And there's just a few things that I wanted to point out and areas that you guys really need to watch and pay attention to, just to be careful, because what we're looking at here is a potential trend reversal. It hasn't fully happened yet, but we have to be extremely careful with it, because if the trend does reverse, things could get pretty crazy here. So I just wanted to put these things on your radar here. You do what you want with them, but I wanted to dig into all this with you and give you my opinion on it. So if you get some from these videos, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share with your friends. So first of all, what I wanted to point out was yesterday, as we're looking at the 200-day moving average, like I was talking about, we've been up above it now for over a month. So the fact that the bulls are not defending it right now, that's a big sign. That's a big deal for me. So what we had yesterday was basically a long leg doji candle. So we had a lot of indecision. We actually closed up above the 200-day moving average. So that was a good thing. But today we're not getting that follow through. We should have seen a stronger bounce off the 200-day moving average, in my opinion. That's a big area for us there. That's what the long-term investors look at. And if Bitcoin is to be considered a safe haven when all the markets and everything's going crazy, we should definitely see a bounce off that 200-day moving average, and we're not seeing it right now. We do have some longer wicks, but remember, we have not closed this candle for the day. For me, it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time, and I want us to close up above this 200-day moving average. I think that's extremely important for us. Another area that I'm looking at is this trend line. So this white trend line right here, we have 3 touches on it as of now. If we start breaking down through this trend line, losing this 200 moving average, having the 50 over top, the 40 and the 20, then most likely that is going to be our trend reversal, guys, and we're going to start really moving to the downside pretty quickly. So that's where you just want to defend yourself right now, protect yourself. So if you're still in a position, that's okay, but you have to guard your position, because if this trend does change and this was just some type of lower high overall than what we had back in here at $14,000, then that's going to give us some trouble, because you have to think about it. We fought so hard to get up above this 20 EMA, this 40, this 50, and this 200. So if we start giving that back up and we start dropping below the 200 moving average, having candle closes below it, as well as this white trend line, then we could just have a trend line break and a massive sell-off, and that's the last thing that we want for this space. So the next thing that I was looking at here, I wanted to bounce out to the 1 week chart, because I think it's really important. Long-term investors or big whales, they really look at the 1 week time frame. They want to see the big picture. So if we're looking at the big picture here for Bitcoin, what we're seeing is this 50-week moving average, and this is going to be in pink. If we drop below that and start having a candle close below that, that's when I'm going to be a little bit more hesitant. I will probably be closing my Bitcoin and crypto positions, just to let you know, because if we start closing below that, guys, then we easily could be coming back down to these areas of $6,800 or even lower. That's just how fast it takes place in this space. So I want to close up above for the week. Now that we're talking about the week here, up above the 20 EMA, I find that extremely important. Most important is this 50-week moving average. And you can see the bulls are defending it a little bit here, but we're not getting that bounce yet that we really should get, in my opinion. And what you can see here, we had a lot of indecision up here. We had a spinning top candle, we had a doji candle, and then this would be a bearish engulfing candle. This is just a wicked candle right here. So that's what we have to be careful of, and we really need to watch when this candle closes and where we're at, and if we're up above this 20 and this 50 and this trend line, or if we start dropping below it. If we start dropping below it, then most likely that's going to be your trend change. And if we start throwing on some indicators, I wanted to look at the stock first. You can see the stock, we actually have one of these downward crosses with the doji up here, so we have to be careful about that on the 1 week time frame. That could show that we could have more cooling down to do, or a potential trend reversal. Now, I don't go just off the stock. That's one thing I never do. I like to look also the RSI and a lot of other indicators, factoring them in with the price action and what the trend's doing and what the candle formations are doing, what the trend lines are doing. Then I add these indicators in. And as you can see for the indicator here on the 1 week time frame, we're at 50 right now. So we did cool off, which is a good thing. We have more room to potentially run to the upside if we do get a bounce off this. But being at that 50 area, it's so neutral. We could dump hard to the downside, or we could really pump hard to the upside here. There's room to do either. So we're not in overbought or oversold conditions. So this is really that like neutral area to where we're going to decide if Bitcoin's a safe haven, if people are going to run and put their money into Bitcoin here at the 200-day moving average or this 50-week moving average. Are people going to step in and buy that? Are the bulls going to step in, or are they going to be hesitant and scared? And this is where the bears step in and they completely trash this whole trend that we've been up in for about 2 months here. So that's why you have to be so careful. And stepping back to the 1 day, I wanted to look at a couple things with us as well. So whenever you see the longer wicks, though, typically, like we're having down in here, that is showing defense. So there is a little bit of buying pressure here, but I was expecting some type of bullish engulfing candle, something strong off this 200-day moving average today after that doji for confirmation, because what you see after each retracement here, we had a bullish engulfing candle that started the next run all the way up. We came back down. We had another bullish engulfing candle, came all the way up, came back down, another bullish engulfing candle, and then we got pushed up again. So we would expect some type of strong candle and the buyer stepping in right around this area, and it has not happened yet. So that's why I'm just telling you to be careful, because if the trend does change, then our whole outlook on Bitcoin is going to be completely different, because then guys are going to be opening up these short positions, and they're going to be shorting off the 50 moving average. They'll be shorting off the 200-day moving average, and that's when things can get really tough. As you guys know, this market is very manipulated. You have to stay on your toes. Technical analysis can help you a lot, but you also need to have those alerts and alarms on and have a plan. So for me, I'm going to be dragging this alarm or this alert down right into this area. You know what, guys? I'm probably going to put it about 8,537 right there. I'm going to want to be alerted. That's right on this trend line, and I want to see what we do with that, if we're going to get a candle close below it or up above it today. Right now is a little bit more of like a doji kind of mixed with a hammer. It has a little bit too much wick on the top, but we are so far from the close today, anything could change. So just really keep your eye on the game here. You know, protect yourself, have your alerts and alarms on. So that's my first alert and alarm, and then my upper alert and alarm here is going to be at $8,944. I'll want to be alerted, because that would show that we are starting to get back up above this 200-day moving average, and we are defending it. So this is my tight range, 8,944 to the upside, to the downside, 8,537. But this is the time, guys, just really protect yourself. Capital preservation is key in this market. You always have to think about it like a war or a battle. That's what my Japanese candlestick charting book says. Whenever you send your capital out, you want to capture more of that capital, bring it back into your troops, and now your fleet is bigger. It's all about capital preservation. You can't play this game if you're just hodling and it's getting smashed down farther and smashed down farther. You know, that's not the name of the game. You want to hodl in uptrends, and you want to either short or sit in cash during these downtrends. That's the main thing. But we have not had a complete trend reversal yet, but we're getting extremely close to it. So just be careful, guys. Tighten everything up. You know, look at that risk to reward management and just be safe in this time. So that's the best I can tell you, is just have a level head. Don't freak out. We got a lot going on in the world right now, and we'll just see what's going to go on. God bless you all. Take care.